Ready, set, let's roll. Let's roll.
All right, lads. Well, let's just see what happens. It is the you never want to say the first or the inaugural. That's always weird, or the at least the first annual. You don't want to do that. So it's the maiden voyage of dare we call this the Byrd Brains podcast. I'm Rob Reel from Corn Country 100.3, and I'll work my way around clockwise, I guess. We're in the Corn Crib in downtown Franklin, giant picture window behind me, and to my right is David Byrd. To his right is driver Brian Clausen, and to his right, coming back to my left, is Jonathan Byrd II. So what are we in for, lads? What's about to happen? Do we have any idea where this is going to go? I'll have some sort of fancy schmancy music to get this thing started, but other than that, I have no idea what's about to happen.
I'll just go on the record first and apologize to everybody that they're not going to get this 30 minutes of their life back. So,
oh, we're about to make history here.
That's actually a really good plan right there, Brian, to just...
I just want to lay it on the table right now.
The shenanigans will never cease, that's for sure.
The shenanigans that had started before we started taping, I'm just going to apologize.
I think people should already be following us around with a camera. I mean, this is
is
epic.
No, this is the face for radio right here. This is I've done television a few times until they asked me to stop. Granted, this
you were escorted out of the building.
Yeah, this was in small places like bustling metropolises like Columbia, Missouri, and Terre Haute. So my performance on television in Terre Haute looked like it smells. So if you've been to, I give Terre Haute a hard time for the smell.
Yes, you do.
Because that's been the running joke for decades.
Oh, absolutely.
The smell is not there anymore. That paper rendering plant on the east side is long since closed. But it's just been the running gag for so long that it's too. There are 4 prisons in that town. It's
and a college.
Yeah, a couple of them actually.
Same thing.
Yeah, Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, and then there's Indiana State, and then there's St. Mary of the Woods, and 3 very different experiences. Very, very different experiences, and I won't go into more detail lest I upset somebody. So, David, you're kind of the brainchild behind us
that
getting
word again.
Yeah, behind us getting together. So, what was your big idea in gathering the 4 of us in a palatial radio studio such as this with Corny? From my vantage, our mascot Corny is just sort of creepily behind Brian Clausen. With that grin, and if Corny had arms like he would have, like he was ready to stab.
Oh boy!
Well, primarily, I have a wife and 5 kids, and I never get a word in edgewise. So my goal pretty much was to be able to sit and force people to listen to me for half an hour, and I figured this was a way to do it.
Is this your way of saying Toby Keith's "I Want to Talk About Me" is one of your favorite songs?
Yeah, pretty much.
What I call the married man's national anthem.
Absolutely. So that was my goal. Just really nothing more than that. Just to force everybody to tune in and listen to me wax eloquently on life and pretty much whatever comes up.
Yeah, the foil to this is that we're going to talk about racing, but we're probably not going to talk about racing a whole lot. It's just you get the 4 of us in a room together, and it's
hilarity ensues.
Yes, it's a deadly sort of thing. Brian Clausen is the only man in the room who's not been married. Is that correct?
I mean,
you're married.
Officially.
You're married-ish.
Unofficially.
No, let me tell you, when you've sat across the table with someone dividing your stuff in half,
oh my gosh,
officially really matters. I'm just telling you.
Hey, preach it, brother.
It's one of those moments. Brian, do you know why divorce is so expensive? Because it's worth it.
Can I get an amen?
That is Uncle Rob's advice to you. So, your better half. Tell us about her. She's a lovely woman, but what is there to know about your better half?
She runs the show, that's for sure.
Get used to that.
Yep, no, absolutely. I learned that pretty quick.
Ding.
No, Lauren, we've been together for 4 years now. And we met in racing, but through a friend of ours, and from for some reason she stuck around for a while.
Tell the
so-
story, because I just heard the story the other day, and I think it's really cool. The whole story, how it goes.
Well,
Like,
it depends on what what version.
Tell the cute story.
Let's
story.
start at the very beginning.
The meat cute. I think.
Yes,
The-
correct. The meet
No,
cute.
I mean, actually, how we met was I was actually doing a Chevrolet appearance at Knoxville for Tony Stewart Racing, who I was racing for at the time, and she was actually Miss Eldora Speedway, who obviously Tony owns Eldora, which had nothing to do with Knoxville, but she just happened to be there helping with the Chevrolet display or Chevrolet. It was a arrive and drive kind of way to get
let's
car
be
stuff.
honest. Her job was to stand still and look pretty. Is that fair?
She was actually registering, so she was doing a little bit,
Okay.
but yeah,
All
pretty
right.
close.
Wear a crown and a sash.
Yes,
as Miss
Well,
Eldora.
She did not have it on there, so she was actually working the booth.
So she was
there,
wearing
but-
nothing?
But at the no crown, no sash.
This story just got so much better.
It's a good thing this is a podcast.
Wow, chicka wow.
Yeah. No, and so she was helping out at the Chevrolet deal, and obviously we had a lot of few mutual friends that were there, and that's how we first met. And then we actually didn't even start dating then. We met then, and about 3 months later, she actually needed a date to the Eldora banquet. And she was too afraid to ask me, so her friend came and told me I was going to the banquet with her, and I said okay.
Okay, was there like a note? Check yes or no?
It's circle. It said, and it was actually more of a "you are going to the banquet with Lauren."
Yes.
And I said, "Absolutely, absolutely, I am."
Did you realize that this was setting a pattern for your relationship?
At the time, I did not. But
I go back to the first thing you said, which was she runs the show.
Absolutely.
So-
Absolutely. Well, and then the best part of the story, and like I said, we could spend all 30 minutes on it, but the best part of the story is she
I
always
got nothing
says,
else to do.
She always says as we're about 40 races here in April is that she thought she was dating a Silver Crown driver that raced 7 times a year. She didn't know I actually raced more than 5 times a year. So.
now I thought I heard the story was like you said, can I go? Can we go to the banquet together? And she goes, I'm only going to go if you're in Victory Lane. And so you won the race.
That's probably how she decided. That's probably how she decided to tell it that night. But how it really went is
So when we write the TV movie,
Yes.
that's how it'll go.
the after school special.
But how it really went is she was
tonight on
afraid
a
to
very
ask me.
special episode.
Yeah, how it really went is she was afraid to ask me to the banquet. So the friend that introduced us came and said, "Hey, you're going to the banquet."
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely not the one that Lauren told me.
That's
So
the
I
true
got,
one.
I got the apocryphal version.
the one that involved a rag and a chloroform and a windowless van.
Yep.
So okay,
I told you the story too. Then
well,
okay.
it's an oft-told story. It's as old as time itself.
Boy meets girl. Boy finds a handkerchief. Boy finds chloroform.
Boy says, "Hey, smell this." So now I want to go back to this scene though in Knoxville of she's registering people for the Chevy thing, and you're Mr. Big Swag driver standing there, and you're with your entourage and she's with her people. So is there like elbow nudging and whispering and hey,
He hasn't.
you see little Mister?
He hasn't. Rob obviously hasn't spent a lot of time around me. There's not a whole lot of entourage, and I'm pretty much Johnny No Swag. So we're.
That needs to be on a
That's going
shirt
on the race
now.
Yes.
I'm gonna call
Brian,
and have
no
the car
swag.
changed.
Copyrighted 2015.
Yeah, right. That little script that goes right under where the driver gets in and out. Johnny No Swag.
That's right.
Can we trademark that real quick and do some merchandise?
Yeah, I think we could.
call it.
I think we could.
I've got a copyright attorney who can help us with that if necessary.
perfect.
Get him on the phone.
Good morning. Thanks for listening, Olivia.
No, actually, the friend of ours that introduced us was someone that worked at Tony Stewart Racing and that had worked with her Eldora, so it was kind of a setup. But
So she's over there in the corner. Well, he's kind of cute, but he's a driver. I don't know.
we should have brought her in for the podcast.
I mean, that'll happen.
To get her thoughts on it. But
I invited her. She said she wasn't.
Well,
up
here's
for
the
it.
problem. It's 9:40 in the morning.
Check your local listings.
Exactly.
But not an early riser.
We'll run
is she.
the afternoon podcast. We could probably get her in.
So
here.
now, because it is a no-win situation with women, you mentioned, Brian, that she thought she was getting this driver who drives 7 times a year, and you're too busy, 40 races already into April. We all know, at least the experienced men in the room know, that if that were the case, the gripe would then be, well, he only works 7 days a year. I wish I could get him up off the couch.
Why don't you do something with your life?
I swear, are you just going to watch Maury all day, or are you going to do something?
Because I'm sick of knowing who the father is,
to be fair,
who isn't.
Because the 3 cats in the room who've been married are all going,
Yeah. But to be fair, I think production level did go down when they started running Maury and Jerry Springer back to back.
Oh, and then you get some Steve Wilkos, and it's all over.
Absolutely.
So what does Lauren do? How does she have a bill paying gig, or is she just continued spokesmodel?
She actually just finished college, Kelly School of Business and marketing degree.
Oh, that's like legit. All right.
So I put her to work. On the t-shirt side, she does all my t-shirt merchandising.
As your court appointed attorney.
Yeah.
I might rephrase that.
No, she handles all my social media, all my merchandising stuff, and with our schedule, it's we end up, by the time having her handle all that stuff, she ends up actually making more money than he would at a real job. So
okay,
it makes a little bit more sense.
She makes more money than I do.
Most nights,
she does. That's a boat I've been in, young man.
Most nights she does.
What's a good thing?
Now I don't give her all of that, but she usually ends up making us. Burlington, she made double of what I did. So on Saturday night, so. Part of the gig, I guess.
So social media and merch is the way to go in this business. Far less dangerous than being behind the wheel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like to tell her that she still needs me, though, because the shirt would be a blank T-shirt without me. So she's not so sure. Actually, she's figured out that if she puts my dog on a T-shirt, that she actually sells more than if she sells my stuff. So,
okay. Let's talk about Chevy.
So it won't be long before I'm useless in the relationship.
well,
it probably already happened. But.
TikTok. So let's talk about Chevy, and we're already completely off track of what we plan to talk about today.
I thought you said we were talking about racing.
No, this was the plan.
Oh no,
this is the plan.
Yeah, the plan is to have no plan. It's kind of like Seinfeld, only less hateful. Because be honest, those are 4 miserable people on that TV show. So let's talk about Chevy getting famous. He is by far the most famous member of the family now that there's Stewart too.
Absolutely. Well, first Chevy's gonna be upset that you called her a boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me, Chevy.
That's all right.
I didn't check.
She
under
does
the
look
hood.
like a boy.
Well, I didn't check under the hood. I'm not, I'm not checking everybody's oil. So
that's right.
So
that's my daughter you're talking about.
Wow.
There's fight words. There's going to be a fight outside, everybody. Main Street, Franklin, everybody.
Is it creepy in here? Or is it just... first of all, obvious though it may be, how did Chevy get her name?
Well, yeah, I mean, that was pretty obvious. At the time, I was actually running for Tony on the sprint car side, and Chevrolet Performance was our sponsor, and I'd always liked Chevy, been a Chevy guy, and that just kind of fit.
That was going to be my question, because when you're a racer, you have to be prepared to get behind the wheel of just about anything. It's whoever's got the dollars, whoever's the sponsor, whoever's got the car. So if you grew up a Chevy guy, I happen to grow up a Ford guy, and that's all I ever buy for myself personally. But I know the challenge of, somebody comes along and says, hey, I got this deal with Honda. let's go.
Absolutely.
So what is that like? Growing up a Chevy guy and then having to get behind the wheel of just any machine somebody's got for you.
Well, I mean, it's. I guess I wouldn't say it's tough because it's a lot more fun to drive race cars than to sit and watch them. So, but obviously, you have to be able to adapt and represent any brand that
figure out where the turn signal is.
I think I've been in a Dodge on the stock car side of things. We were Ganassi at the time was a Dodge team.
Okay.
Ran a Honda in 2012 at Indy. I've been a Chevrolet Performance big bow tie on my sprint car for years, and actually this year my wing car is sponsored by a Ford dealership. So I've hit every brand, and the key is obviously
Kia.
Yeah, no Kia, but that'd be close.
The key is.
The key is.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You were talking manufacturers. I got caught up in the moment.
Well, see, I chuckle at Kia not only because I owned one briefly, but
now that's funny.
Anybody with a military background looks at Kia and sees KIA, killed in action. That may or may not have been appropriate for the Kia that I owned. So, having driven all these different nameplates, and sometimes one nameplate in one series simultaneously with a different nameplate in a different series, you ever get crossed up? Have you? Because we have all seen at the end of the race where the guy puts the hat on and he's trying to thank all the sponsors. And I think back in the day of Ward Burton of just I want to thank everybody in the number 22 Caterpillar machine. And he just starts rattling.
State Wall Hughes.
Yeah, he just Boomhauer, all the list of sponsors. And so you wouldn't have been able to hear with Ward Burton if he said the wrong one. Have you ever been repping for Chevy and said Ford, or been repping for Ford and said Dodge, or just
no? I think you're pretty conscious of where you're at when you do.
I hope
when you represent that stuff. But I think the closest or the biggest mix-up I usually have is remembering what car I'm driving on a certain night. So you'll be signing autographs and you'll just end up putting a random number next to your name as you're signing. You'll be like, Brian Clausen, number 17. And you're like, oh, dude, that car's number 63 tonight. These guys are going to be confused when they go home. But
Pi 4.
That's right.
So he's just giving out numbers.
That's right. But, you especially when you're representing two different brands at the same time.
Is that
pretty conscious.
Is that the driver equivalent? I think we've all been or heard about a concert where somebody's up there, hello, Cleveland! Screw you! This is Kansas City!
I think so.
Okay.
So.
We were
talking about the dog.
Yeah, we were talking about we were talking about
really
shit.
Off track.
That's the nature of a podcast.
Yeah, well,
this is why on the radio, John, I deal in like 3-minute segments because I don't
Short
have
attention span theater.
I don't have much of an attention squirrel. So yeah, you turn me loose, and this is what happens. So Chevy. Obviously named. So what's the experience been like for Chevy becoming famous? What is Chevy's rise to fame?
Well, we even how Chevy came about is Lauren had been begging for a dog for about a year. I put it off and put it off and put it off.
This is how you know This is how you know they're not married yet because he can get away with that.
And so finally, we got her actually on St. Patrick's Day a couple of years ago, and got her. And honestly, it was the best thing I ever did. Looking back, because the dog's always happy to see you.
Yes,
doesn't care where you've been, what you've done,
how many races,
how many races,
a year.
Yeah, how many, where I finished. Yeah, I'll run last, and she's just as happy. So we got Chevy and started taking her to the races, and Chevy's a tiny little dog. I mean, she looks like a dog, but she's 8 pounds, and she's got short legs. She's a short-legged Jack Russell, so she's got a little bit of she's got some little bit of an oddity, but she's cute. And
I got a sister like that. Short legs, a little bit of an oddity, but cute.
Cute, but And so it
Pumps her
started.
leg.
We started just she'd go to the races, and obviously started making friends, and everybody was on us for about a month of, hey, Chevy needs her own Twitter. Chevy needs her own shirts. And I was like, God, I'm not going to be the guy with a dog that has shirts and Twitter. And here we are.
No, you're the guy.
I'm the guy with a dog that has
3,100
or 4,000
Twitter
followers, and
3161 as of right now.
He sells more T-shirts than me, but Lauren actually runs Chevy's. Chevy tells Lauren what to put on her on her Twitter, and
It's really hard to no pause.
no pause.
The
Yeah,
thumbs,
it's
that's hard to-
touchscreen.
yeah.
It's tough. So she does that. We
Seeing
try
her
and
use
keep
the
it fun.
stylus is what's
That's right.
interesting.
That's right.
She needs voice recognition
Exactly.
software.
The problem is she doesn't. We actually thought
translation.
Chevy was deaf for a long time because she was mute. She didn't bark. So we thought she was deaf for a while, but then
Stuart
she-
makes up for it.
Yeah, my other one.
I have a miniature beagle. Sammy is 15, and Sammy did not bark for his first almost year of his life. We lived in an apartment at the time when we got him. We weren't supposed to have a dog in the apartment. So finished getting the house built, move into the house, put up the fence, sent Sammy into the backyard. Next door neighbors had a min pin named Rocco. These not our neighbors, not my neighbors anymore. They've long since moved, so I can tell this story. But Rocco barked like you wouldn't believe. Total Napoleonic complex of a miniature pinscher, and taught Sammy how to bark. And I have never
Son of a gun.
forgiven Rocco because now Sammy does not shut up.
One day Rocco just disappeared, didn't he?
Yes. So it wouldn't be the first time somebody named Rocco ended up at the bottom of a river. That didn't really happen. We didn't do little cement doggy shoes. But I'm not going to say we didn't think about it.
No animals are harmed in the making of this podcast.
As far as you know. So all right. So we've got Chevy in the fold. Chevy's got 31,000 Twitter followers. She is a celebrity. So now Stuart enters the picture. How does this happen?
Well, we figured it'd be a good idea to get Stuart a playmate, or Chevy a playmate, and Chevy's she's very social with people, but she's got a little bit of the small dog syndrome with other dogs. So so we found Stuart, and Stuart looks similar, a little bit bigger than she is, but obviously he's a Beagle Terrier, not a Jack Russell, but
He's a barrier.
yeah, exactly, he's a bear. He's a bear. We call him other names.
He's a safer barrier.
Yeah.
There we go. See, we got racing in
we
there.
got
you
something
go.
plugged in there.
Ding.
But so yeah,
Me without my bell.
But we got so we found Stuart, and we're like, all right, well, we'll take Chevy over there, and she surely won't like him. She doesn't like any dogs, and they were best friends, and so then I was stuck with Stuart, and have wanted to kill him every day since.
So, all right. So, what things about Stuart named for?
Named for actually, a lot of people think it's for the Tony Stewart racing side, but it's actually Lauren's last name is Stewart. So
Okay.
It just kind of, it fit all the way around, but
spelt the same.
correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So that's why people jump to that conclusion.
Yes.
So,
Stewart's-
I was going somewhere with that. And I
Yeah,
forgot.
no, Stuart, he's just, we kind of had the, first child was an angel. We're good dog parents. We've got this, we've got this dog parenting thing down. How hard can another one be?
Those are fellas.
Famous last words.
Oh yeah.
You've each said the same about actual kids, like human children. Yeah, how hard could another one be?
Yeah, I did that and had three and we had three girls. Well, we need a boy, and we ended up with two. So yeah.
Wait, so you
that
didn't
was
learn?
fun.
You didn't learn anything when you went from man to man to zone with the third one.
Yeah, I just figured we need the boy to round out the mix because we had three girls and we ended up with twin boys. So went from a three man team to the full court. So
A full bird's nest.
that's right.
And then, so 5 for you. And how many for you, John?
Just two.
Just two?
Yeah, I was like, hey, two's enough.
Yeah.
We got, we can take on each one. We don't have to play. We don't have to play zone like you said.
Was it easier that you got one of each though?
Yeah, that definitely made it easy. That's what we were hoping for, and that's what Mama wanted. Mama got it. Mama happy. Dad is
good life.
Mama happy. I'm just gonna be happy with that.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's right.
And I got 2 dogs too.
All right.
I got a dog.
Just dogs all around.
Okay.
My
And
dog's name is
have,
Indy.
And you have horses.
I have everything.
Oh, okay.
I have to think of roll call at the real estate at the moment.
Zookeeper.
Yeah, a little bit. It's 4 cats. And I have to say, I never thought I would be a cat guy.
He's that old cat guy.
A little bit.
Mommy.
A little bit. I never thought I would be a cat guy, but the first cat I ever got, Bad Leroy Brown, was just, yep.
Not meow meow.
Yeah.
Meow, meow, Leroy Brown.
Yeah. Named for the Jim Croce song, absolutely. But he was so chill as a cat. Because you think of, cats being attention hungry and being kind of, snotty or whatever. And he was super relaxed. He wanted to be near the action, but not in it. So he would like sit at the other end of the couch and like, hey, what are we watching? Oh, Baywatch. Cool. Cool.
They're running again.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, she run. Oh, it's nice watching her run in slow motion. I can see why you like this show.
I need some catnip.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say
there's
some milk, but that's a different story.
You say they're chill, but really they're just plotting to kill you. That's
Well,
that's just
I've had that cat too. But yeah, Leroy was like, food bowl's full, litter box is empty. We good. See you Tuesday. Current roll call is 4 cats at the real estate, only 1 dog right now. And then, well, we'll have to get into the horse thing in a completely different episode because I want to finish the
next time on Bird Brains.
Yes, I want to finish the discussion of Stuart. So Stuart has made you regret his adoption everyday
What's
sense.
so funny? We were at Belleville.
I always say the worst $300 I ever saved was the restocking fee for Stuart.
You get to Belleville.
Wait, restocking fee? Did you get him at Best Buy? How did that? They're not a sponsor, right?
No.
Okay, just checking. Radio Shack. Radio Shack's out of business. I can do Radio Shack. Let's do that. So misbehavior everyday since.
I guess he's just still a puppy, but Chevy was actually a little bit of a demon until she got fixed. So we were hoping when he got fixed, he'd calm down, but he's still a little bit of a hellion. But he's gotten better. We had to introduce the bark collar to Stuart. And he's coming around a little bit.
I had a stepmother we needed to use that on for a while. How's that bark collar working out for you?
It was going pretty good until he chewed through it.
That takes
He
talent.
showed
It
you.
does.
He
It
showed
does.
you.
He's one of those dogs like you just kind of shake your head at, like you give him a sedative and it makes him wired. You just God dang it,
We'll
this
give him
guy.
some speed then.
Yeah.
It goes the other way.
You give him some caffeine, he falls asleep. So he's just that guy.
That's see. Are you sure you didn't cross the streams in there somewhere? And okay, so we got completely off track. I had one thing. You had one job, Rob. There's one thing on my list to talk about, and we have burned 28 and a half minutes not talking about that one thing. So I guess that's what you'll have to look forward to in the next episode of Bird Brains. Jonathan Byrd II, driver Brian Clausen, David Byrd, and I'm Rob Reel from Corn Country 100.3. I have no idea what the distribution on this is going to be yet, or if we're going to be able to get any bumper music, if I can clear the rights to get music.
Come to Jonathan Byrd.
Yes, come to Jonathan Byrd.
Fried chicken.
Yeah,
Fried chicken.
his name is literally Fried Chicken, as we keep saying. Born with a chicken leg in his mouth, which couldn't have been particularly comfortable for Mama Jenny, although it made David's arrival easier.
This way it was in my mouth. The sideways, that's different story.
I want 4 chickens and a Coke. You want 4 pieces of chicken? No, I want 4 chickens and a Coke. So from the Blues Brothers to the Byrd Brothers and back again. So another episode of Bird Brains will be coming to you very soon. In the meantime, best of health and luck until we get together again. And thanks for listening. And we're very, very sorry.
See ya.